All right, what's up, y'all? We have another pedal, and it is the Twilight Pulse. Twilight Pulse Audioworks Constant. Sorry, I couldn't remember exactly what the company was called. Twilight Pulse Audioworks Constant. Cool, huh? It's interesting, and maybe I should like break out the manual or something, but I mean, first of all, we're talking like, your classic 125B size pedal. Well, look at me, nerd. I know that because somebody was talking to me about it recently. Anyways, there's a drive and a boost in it, and that's pretty cool. It was super appealing to me because recently I was on the hunt for an EP booster. I was having a conversation with David Palayo. Love David Palayo. We talk about gear almost 24/7. Anyways, somehow the conversation came up about EP boosters and how it is, based on an Echoplex, hence EP, tape preamp, which I didn't realize that. And that sounds really appealing because I love the idea of a tapey preamp tone because the texture is really cool. And so I had some guys in my Instagram subscriber chat, which is a fun place, the Minions. Sorry, listen, I didn't name it that. They named themselves that, and they insist on it, okay? I would never do that. Anyways, a few of them had the Constant, and they were kind of going on about it because the drive is somewhat like Lightspeed, somewhat super bolty, and that's cool. I just want an EP booster, but why not get a little bit more bang for the buck while you're at it and get something that's already going to be about this size and also give you a drive, like a Lightspeed super bolt kind of drive. I don't want to incorrectly say something, so let's just go ahead and open this up and read what it says. Put the EP cell preamp in. An overdrive based on a modern legend that conquered the speed of light. The Constant builds on that platform and takes you to a whole new level of marvel. With 4 diodes arranged in an asymmetrical configuration, a higher gain range, and more headroom courtesy of an internal charge pump. Oh. The Constant brings amp-like response, just right amount of gain and sustain and clarity for any setup. Constant also features an EP-style preamp boost circuit hailing from the 60s and 70s for that extra bit of special sauce for fat leads and more saturation. It's cool. I have played this one, unlike whenever I did the Aspen video. I didn't play it yet because I felt like that would be part of the fun. With this one, I have played it. It does sound cool. We'll run it through a few paces and see what we come out with. But all that to say, it's cool. It has, like a tone frequency shaper. It has a level. It has a gain. And then it has the order with which you can position the boost. And then it has the boost actual level. And the more you turn it up, it kind of gets it gets louder. And then it gets a little bit more preampy, saturated, subtle character. Very cool. I'm going to be using my Veritas Portlander, Lindy Fralin Modern PAFs, and then also a JMI amp on the left, depending on which way you're looking at this, and a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe White Lightning on the right. I think I pointed the right way. I don't know. Is it mirrored? All right, sweet. So we've got the Twilight Pulse Audioworks Constant. I'm always trying to make sure I say that the right way. Apologies, Twilight. We have the Constant here. So what we're looking at is it has a filter for like the tone. It has its general volume, and then it has its gain. We have that toggle switch that positions the boost in front or the back of the drive. And then obviously we have the 2 sides to be able to turn on the boost or turn on the drive, and that's what that is there. But I'm using this all for my RJM, so there's going to be occasions where it turns on and off, but I'm not touching it, and that's because it's on the RJM right here. So anyways, let's start out with the drive, and let's kind of explore some of what its tones are that it offers. So first of all, let's hear clean tone. And then the Constant with whatever settings I've got on it right now. Sweet. Well, it sounds awesome. Easy win there. So the filter, it's right at about 3/4, roughly 132 o'clock. The gain is, it's boosting the volume a little bit more than maybe how I'd normally do it. Let's go ahead and actually start by cleaning that up a little bit because the volume is nearly maxed. Not quite. So this one does not fully attenuate and cut your dry signal, but it, does clean it up a lot. So this is gain absolute 0. Turning it off. will say it does have a very charming sort of like thump to it that you can kind of hear. That I wouldn't equate to necessarily compression, but I wouldn't say it's not some form of compression, the way that it sort of like rounds out the top end and makes it really smooth and kind of makes your light picking just very polished and forward. It's very nice. Let's turn on some like effects for a second. Yeah, honestly, big fan right now. That's feeling really cool. It's at the moment a very glorified, clean overdrive. I'm hardly touching the gain just for the sake of it, because this tone feels okay for now. Let's just back off the volume a little bit. Let's give it some more gain so we hear what the drive is actually doing. Let's turn off effects really quick. Throw on an exotic super clean boost. Sick. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So that was my white effect from the Mobius, and then just a dotted delay from the LBX with the exotic boost on top of it. But it was set aggressive. It's cool hearing how when this is boosted, even on these aggressive settings, man, it still sings. It's really punchy. It's really growly. Those inversions up higher were not too bright. They were maybe a little bright at times. If I plan on using it as a sort of lead tone, maybe I'll shave off a little of that top end there. Cool, so that's like, more gain. Let's just turn it up a little bit more just so we really know what the drive itself is doing. Sorry, I'm just playing like random notes, just feeling the punch of the pedal. So cool. That's what the gain property is like. It has a couple of sweet spots for sure. I wouldn't say there was anything that was particularly bad. I'm just generally never cranking gain on a pedal, except for some of them. Some of them do sound good. Not that this one didn't, but I probably wouldn't use this way. It sounded really good in a lot of other locations. But anyways, that's seemingly some of the basic drive functions. Let's see what this boost sounds like now. Sorry, I don't have it Velcroed down, so it is just flopping all around. Cool, so here is the boost just by itself. I'm going to go ahead and turn the pedal off, go back to cleans, and then I'll turn it on here. So clean first. And then the EP boost side. Sounds great. Let's use them together now, because now we hear the texture of that. I believe this is set after the drive, the boost is. very cool. I can get like a nice slappy punch out of it. That's cool. Let's add a couple of effects to kind of hear it in context as a form of lead-ish tone. Add some more gain. Let's get something with a little bit more aggressive screaming reverb. I'm going to go over to my little Prime Cloud Verb here. Not bad. It got a little squeakier when I turned more gain up than boost. So that tells you kind of maybe some of the properties that the boost has, which is really cool. But, you know, a way you can combat that is if, you know, obviously you plan to use this as that sort of lead tone, you can just shave off some top end. But either way, I mean, great combination. Let me turn the effects back off here. I like that slappy thing it does. I think I mentioned that earlier, but it's like a really like barrel cannon sounding kind of thwack to the string whenever you have both of them on. Very cool. Anyways, I mean, that is just a quick look at that through just my humbuckers, my PAFs. I have my Dan Electro Baritone with lipstick tube pickups, single coils next to me. Let's just see what it sounds like going through that as well and how it handles the sort of single coil response. Sweet. Definitely not a bummer. Cool. I mean, that's still same settings. The baritone is going to need a little bit more because its clean is lesser output than what my PAFs are doing. That's all the way down to clean. Sick. I absolutely love the howl of the Dan Electro baritone whenever that last strum there. And this is doing a good job at bringing out very pleasant EQ qualities to enhance that kind of stuff. That's cool. Let's hear just the boost with it. That's filthy. That sounds incredible. Cool. Let's mess with just the drive side a little bit more and just kind of see what other properties we can bring out of it. Let's max out that level. Cool. Well, that's enough noodling around. I think you get the idea. This is a great pedal. What it's doing that I'm really, really enjoying is kind of that super bolty Lightspeed thing on the drive side, where that light picking, the way it kind of compresses and works with your clean tone, but adds just like some really meaningful grit, feels awesome. It feels very inspiring to play. And I feel like it's bringing really nice qualities out of my stereo wet effects pedals as well, to just be really reactive to my tone. And that's fun. That's exciting. And then, of course, the EP booster side's really tasteful. I feel like the thing that I would need to watch out for is, first of all, just kind of choosing, like, what's this thing going to do for me? And then if I know what that is, then really being intentional with the tone knob here, because in different stages, it can get squeaky and kind of pokey in that top end. And I don't want that to happen. But, you know, sometimes having the tone brighter can be a vibe. You just have to know what you need to look out for when you're setting it that way. But either way, the Constant sounds great. I think this is a solid drive, and I'm going to keep using it for a while. I'm getting some really inspiring tones and loving what it's bringing out of my playing. So that is the Twilight Pulse Audioworks Constant.